I'll break some trade news on the air here. We did it yesterday, not with the Knicks, but with the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks are trading Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, 2 first-round picks, and 3 second-rounders. That's according to ESPN's Shams Charania. So I'll let you guys cook on that one. What do you think about that deal, Ian?
Jeez, I'm so surprised in general with Trae Young and with this one. I just thought with Mike Winger and the group down there that they had some runway to build more through the draft. And it seems like there's been a change there, and they need to show some results here with winning, because why else would you trade for Trae Young? Why else would you trade for Anthony Davis? A.J. Johnson, obviously very talented guard. The draft capital is important too. So it's surprising to me. I guess they've gone in a different direction. You thought with that front office coming in the way it did, they would have the time, they would have more time to go ahead and build through the draft. Obviously, they need to show some improvement here, and let's see where it goes. Let's see when everybody's on the floor what it looks like. But a fascinating move, very fascinating move.
John, big name.
Oh no, sorry. I'm just looking. Okay. They had the Wizards. Whenever a trade like this happens, I'm always want to know what the picks are, and I would wager a significant sum of money that the Washington Wizards are not necessarily trading away like their own future draft compensation. They have a bunch of picks coming their way over the next, until 2030. They have firsts incoming from various trades that they've made. Some firsts, some swaps. So to me, and look, maybe it's a possibility one or two of the, I was like 1 or 2. It's only 2 firsts. So maybe it's a possibility one of those, turns into something. But I think this just speaks to a lot of the reporting that Ian and others have done over the last, several weeks about, you look around the league at the value of, like, for instance, a Karl Anthony Towns. If the Knicks are looking around like, oh, what would he fetch? I mean, Anthony Davis, different player than Towns, but this is not a return of the guy that you just traded Luka Doncic for a year ago that you would expect, certainly if he was healthy. And so the fact that this is what you get, and you get it from a team in Washington that is probably looking at their cap space and saying, all right, well, we got to do something with it. So let's go ahead and pair Trae Young with Anthony Davis. It's funny because that was rumored to be a thing that might happen in Atlanta like a month and a half ago. And now here it is happening in Washington.
Life moves fast in the NBA. I'll add, John, just because Shams added the picks. 2026 Thunder first-round pick and a 2030 protected Warriors first-round pick in the deal from the Wizards, along with second-rounders from Phoenix, Chicago, Houston. So that's what you're looking at.
Those are not –
okay. I take it back. Not as strong as I thought they might be when I read the initial trade. Yeah, the OKC pick. I mean, okay. I guess a value play there.
That's what it is. I got one last one for you guys, just because I want to fit this one in as you let that news soak over you. Just Ian, from our guy Papa Left, it was just asking, do you manage your phone or your sleep schedule different this time of year? Because as we just saw, news can happen anytime. So the audience wants to know, what are you doing to make sure you're in place to cover news during this time of year?
Yeah, I try to clear the deck as much as possible. It's a bit of a challenge with, I have 2 kids in elementary school, so you can't really take a full day off as a dad. But yeah, I just try to clear the deck and stay on the phone as much as I can, whether it's here or even, covering games around the deadline. I try to sneak off and text people and call people. I think that's the name of the game at this point. Sleep schedule, yeah, certainly less sleep. But I don't want to sound like I'm self-aggrandizing or making it into more than it is. Everybody works hard. It's not that I'm working harder than anyone else or complaining about it. I don't, because I think sometimes journalists would say on social media how hard they worked on something. Don't tell anybody how hard you work. No one cares. What is the phrase? Nobody cares, work harder. That's kind of
there you go.
How I take it.
That's what we'll just give you credit for working hard, and that's what we're here
for. Thank you.
Can I just throw in 3 quick things before we get out of here? Because I know Knicks fans are going to be wondering. No, you're not getting a first round pick from the Wizards. Anthony Davis is going to play as many games this year as the two guys next to me. So I pick is not conveying in the first round. I'm sorry to disappoint people. And two, I don't know if it materially changes things or whether he would have maybe gotten bought out anyway. But Marvin Bagley III is speaking of buyout candidates. I don't know if it was you or somebody else had reported. I thought I saw his name connected with the Knicks as like someone they maybe even like took a passing glance at. But now he's going to Dallas. I don't know if that changes, that situation.